You are the greatest. Thank you for showing up for yourself. So our final lesson, and this lesson, I want you to really engage with me. I really want you to be with me because this is the part where it crowns all that we have been learning. It's setting yourself up for success. How do you set up yourself for success? You ask yourself, do you have a goal? Do you have a vision? Do you have a purpose? Can you ask your friend? Can you ask your parent? Can you ask your sibling? Can you ask even your child? Can you ask your spouse? Do they have goals? And somebody will be like, see, life is to be happy and to just live, my friend. And a goal is not to go buy another car or buy a house or go to school, or those are goals. But let us find out, what is all this about goals? There's a lot to read from your workbook, and I'll leave you to read. But I want to talk about goals in a different way. I want you to think differently about goals. And for now, just delete a little what you know about goals. Now, there are main goals and there are end goals. So what's the difference between a means goal and an end goal? I will start with an end goal. An end goal is something that you cannot compromise on. It is something that we all need. And an end goal is things that bring us fulfillment, like happiness, peace, joy. That is the end goal. Now, the main goal is those things that we want to achieve. For example, you want a new home or you want a bigger house. And I would like you to ask yourself, why do you want that bigger house? Why do you want that car? Why do you want to go to school? The moment you're able to answer that question, for example, let's say, example of I want to go to school. Why? I want to achieve, I have a diploma and I want to achieve a degree. Why do you want to achieve a degree? Because if I achieve a degree, I'll get a better job. Why do you want to get a better job? And the next question will be like, because I'll get more money. Why do you want more money? Because I'll be able to live a lifestyle that I want. Now that is your end goal. Then why do you want to live a lifestyle that you want? Because I'll be happy. I'll enjoy life. Now, where do we end? We all end at happiness, joy, peace. Because why do you want a child? It will give me joy. Why do you want to go live in your own mansion? At the end of the day, you want peace. And then another thing, probably you want to be seeing visitors come to your house. You want to enjoy beautiful celebration moments with your family, with your friends. That is normally the end goal. And when you're able to understand what is your end goal, then you're able to work on yourself and realize, what main goal do I need to achieve? Because if it means I want happiness, it means I want peace, it means I want to celebrate with friends and family. What can I do today in the space that I am to still achieve my end goal? And that is where I come in and say that happiness in the now, what are you doing about it? And that is why it is important to ask yourself, what is my end goal? Every time that you want to set a goal, ask yourself, what is my end goal? Because you will realize that the means or the ways of getting to your end goal are so many. But when you close your mind to a main goal, that you going to school will give you money or will give you more money, then what will mean is that you will strive so hard and be so stressed because you want to achieve that degree. And at the end of the day, yes, you will achieve it. After achieving the degree, you might not get that job, or your salary may not be increased, and you will be very hurt. You will feel like you've been cheated, and nobody cheated you. It's just that you never focused or aligned your goals in the right way. Because if your end goal is to make money so that you're able to enjoy your life and you're able maybe to go to places that you want, even in your current status, you're able to work in a way that you can be able to achieve your end goal. I hope we are getting somewhere. I would like to introduce the 3 pillars to achieve your end goals. I hope that we have understood the importance of end goals. Now, the 3 pillars of achieving your end goals are: what experiences do you want to achieve? How do you want to grow? And how do you want to contribute? Now, human beings, we have needs that cannot be, they're actually basic needs. And one of them is growth and contribution. If you're not growing, my friend, you're dying. You had better grow every day. You'd better be doing something that is making you grow. If you're not growing, umedai, umeenda. Now, contribution. We all have a need to contribute, to give back even as simple as to your parents or to your children. You have a need in you for contribution. Then, for you to do all these things, the experiences that you will go through, that is part of the life that we have. So what I want you to do is now to look at your life and think about it in those 3 pillars. What experiences do I want? How do I want to grow? And how am I going to contribute? Now, let's start with the first one, experiences. These are the things we experience. They make us enjoy life and sometimes live on the edge when doing so. Enjoying life means like you can go for a road trip, and sometimes they're not so expensive. You can say you will go with the SGR. It's an experience. It's an experience, and it's not out of this world. Somebody else has more money, wants to go on a cruise ship, and that is an experience. That is a goal. That is an end goal. It is something that when you experience it, what will happen in you? You will feel joy, happiness. It is something that you will live forever with, an experience. When you think about life that way, then you're able to come back and realize, now, how do I achieve that? Yeah. And then maybe going on a cruise ship, for example, will give you some beautiful feeling of enjoyment. Can you still do that without having to spend so much? You can still achieve the same with maybe going on a road trip, going on an SGR, going on a bus trip, because what you want to achieve is that experience. What experiences do you want? When you talk about experiences that you want to in your lifetime, consider your love life. For example, your relationship. How do you enjoy sex with your partner? About experiences you have with your family and friends. How would you like your social life to look like? Assume you have unlimited resources. Why we are doing this is because I want you to write them down. Because I want you to have a column for experiences, growth, and contribution. It is actually on your book, in your workbook, which you have that you just need to download. You will download the sheet and you'll be able to write them down. Otherwise, you can draw it on your journal and be able to write. So the questions I want you to ask is, what type of car do you want to drive? What type of home would you want to live in? Are there any other things you dream of in your life? And what places do you want to travel? What activities, what hobbies, what sports do you want to explore? You know, life is not just about waking up 8 to 5 every day. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You need to have an activity that you do that gives you a high, that gives you an experience that every time you think about it, you smile. Because you remember I said you need to have experiences in this life. Usiende tu hivyo maisha bila kukuwa na my experience. It is important and they don't have to be expensive. So you need to write them down. Then we go to the second one, grow. If you are living, you must grow. If you're not growing, nilikwambia ulienda. Therefore, growth is an important aspect of our daily life. Growth from schooling to personal development, to learning a new skill, to riding a bike, to riding a motorbike, to driving a car, that is growth. And even right now, this course you're taking, this program you're taking, you are growing. You're not the same person. And in this part, I would like you to ask yourself, how are you growing to develop yourself? Because when you develop yourself, then you're able to have certain experiences that if you have not developed yourself, you cannot experience. And then think about your intellectual life, your personal life. How are you growing? Maybe for example, what language can you learn? Learning a new language is still an experience, it's a challenge, and you're growing. And you're doing those things to challenge your brain, to challenge your life. And those things are important. Do you have to get a degree? Do you want to get a master's? Whatever it is, how are you growing? And then when you look at it that way, you're able to understand how you need to grow. Then you can also look at some people you admire, your mentors, the people you look up to. What are the things that they have done? How have they grown? And you can desire to grow like them. And you can even have meetings with them. You can call them up. That is growth. The moment you tell somebody, can I talk to you? I would like to understand how you achieved something. That is growth. Because when you sit with that person, you're actually in school, you're in class, and it's very critical for you to do certain things like that. And then, how would you like to feel, and what would you like to be as you grow older? What is it that you would like to be as you grow older? Because when you look at it that way, then you're able to see, how do I need to grow? Are there specific aspects, maybe in your spiritual life, that you need to grow? Maybe you need to join BSF. Maybe you need to have a schedule for your prayer time. You need to have a schedule for going to see your parents. Something that you need to grow, It is very important. Then the last one is contribute. Giving to others brings joy that is special. Giving to others, and I'll keep repeating, is a need we all have. We have the need to give. Even if you're so poor, you will always find something you can give from your time. Even if you do not have the resources, you can give time. And the moment you do that, you will be full of joy because you have given something. And that time, those 2 hours, those 3 hours, you went to a children's home, you went to see your parent, you went to visit a relative who maybe nobody visits. You have given your time, sitting somewhere and just calling people up, just finding out, how are you doing? It is contributing, and it will cost you so little, but you have contributed, and it will give you so much joy. And so the questions you will ask will be, how would you contribute to your family, to your friends, to your society, to your community? No matter how big or small it is, I want you to think about them in a bold, big way. There's somebody who took this course and they said they want to be a CS. That is how they want to contribute, because they want to see industries prosper, industries become big, because he believes that manufacturing is the next frontier, that manufacturing is better than building malls because you will employ very many people. You see, you need to think like that. How will you contribute? And when you start thinking like that, you will be surprised, because many people will find, you will attract those things that you are desiring, those goals that you are desiring so much, you will attract them. Now, the next part we are going to is, how do you create a vision board? You have done all those 3 pillars. You have written down all those things. Now we want to create a vision board for them, so that now these things are coming from your soul. You have connected with them. You understand them. Then now you can create a vision board. And this will be the best part of this program. Yeah. See ya.